Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. Oh my gosh. Happy 2025 to all of those who celebrate. Indy also says Happy New Year. Say Happy New Year. He's clearly still in his biding phase. Anyways, today's YouTube video, the first YouTube video of 2025, is going to be the highlights of my commentary track to Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, the movie. If you're an avid watcher of my YouTube channel, you know the movies are not my favorite. But I watched The Lightning Thief on my Patreon for the 1-year anniversary of the Percy Jackson TV show. And so I thought I'd make a highlight video out of it. If you enjoy what you're about to watch and you want to watch the full movie with me, make sure you check out my Patreon, which is linked in the description down below. There's also a whole lot of other commentary tracks and reaction videos on my Patreon, so you can go subscribe over there and catch up on everything you've missed. You can also watch the Percy Jackson TV show with me over there. Not to mention, when season 2 of Percy Jackson comes out, we will be watching the Sea of Monsters movie, so you definitely don't want to miss that. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's get into it. A Chris Columbus film. I forget that he did these. He really thought he was gonna pioneer a second Harry Potter, and he just didn't. I just fucking remembered. I'm gonna have to look at Owen from Grey's Anatomy. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. So, like I mentioned, I'm not the biggest fan of the movies, right? So we're going to be doing a lot of critiquing while I watch this, but I'll also give them their 10s where I do think it's deserved. And one of the things that I do like that they do is that the gods have a moment where they're super, super tall, and we see them in like Greek outfits. Like the transition from him being super tall and in his little Greek outfit to normal size and normal people clothes, I do quite like that. I think I actually would enjoy seeing the gods in the Percy Jackson TV show feel a little bit more godlike. And to be fair, I think Zeus felt very godlike, but he's the only one that did. And I think that was for a reason, right? We weren't supposed to feel like intimidated by Hermes or Poseidon. Ares also felt kind of godlike, but that's a shout out to Adam Copeland. I also forget fucking, what's his face? Ned Stark is in these. Oh my god, he's so young, actually. When did he join Grey's Anatomy? I'm gonna look that up. He's also a little bit less irritating because he's not American. Like, he has an accent. He's like fake British in this. Let's see. Owen Hunt. When was his first episode? In 2008. Okay, so he was on Grey's Anatomy while filming this. That's crazy.
You're accusing my son.
He's kind of eating the accent. I'll give him that much. I like him as Poseidon. I just absolutely despise him as Owen Hunt, so it's gonna take a minute for me to transition. They want to kiss right now, by the way. Like, whenever I see men stand that close to each other, like in a movie or TV show, they want to kiss. I know they want to kiss. You know, this is just really reminding me how good Toby Stephens is as Poseidon, I have to say. This music sounds like The Little Mermaid. Who did the music for this movie? Pierce Brosnan. Forgot he was in this. Okay, this movie does have an insanely stacked cast. Rosario Dawson. Also forgot that she was in this. So, okay. Let's talk about Logan Lerman as Percy. I do think that he's good casting for what they went for with this script and like the age range they were going for and the vibe they were going for. Like, he is really good. And I do think, you know, I don't necessarily disagree with the people that are like, when they look at Logan Lerman, they're like, right person, wrong timing for Percy Jackson. Like, he was just a little too old. I don't necessarily disagree. I do think he does give good Percy Jackson vibes, but I also don't know how, I don't think it's necessarily difficult to be an average white boy and give off Percy Jackson energy. I think there's plenty of white boys in the world that do give off Percy Jackson energy, right? So we got Yancey Academy. That's good. That's accurate. I remember the first time I watched this movie, at least I don't think I saw it in theaters. If I did, it was forever ago, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. I have a really, really bad memory. So if I did see it in theaters, like I don't remember it, right? So I remember watching it for the first time in like years. I think in 2021, I want to say I rewatched it for the first time in what was probably 10 years. And watching it being like, up until this point being like, oh, this isn't that bad. And I stand by that. This movie is not bad up until we get to camp. Everything before camp is not too shabby. But once we're at camp, Lord. And then once we leave camp, not even a Percy Jackson movie. It's still a fine and fun movie, but it's not a Percy Jackson movie after that. Based on the book by Rick Riordan, sure. Sure. She's an okay Sally Jackson, but Virginia Cole is better.
Yeah, real charmer you got there.
He's just so old. Like, it's crazy. This is my first time watching this movie, I think, since the show. I watched the show. So I've watched the movie in like a year, right? And it's like, it's actually kind of jarring. Like, he's so much older than what Percy is supposed to be. Like, he's an adult. He's a grown man. How old is he in this? Okay, so he's only 18. It's not bad at all. Okay, we're at the Met. See, so far when I watched this movie back in 2021, I was like, we're doing good. Like, so far we've been hitting things right on the head. Grover and the crutches, though, very unserious.
Everything is about to change.
Very unserious. Very interesting call. Him seeing Poseidon, interesting choice as well. I do love Pierce Brosnan though. I'm a big Mamma Mia fan. I do also like the statues that we just saw being Sean Bean and what's his face? What even is the name of Owen Hunt? Kevin McKidd. I'm just gonna call him Owen Hunt, but I thought maybe I'd learn his name.
Hook up.
Grover in this movie annoys me. He's like fine and funny. Okay, like in context of the movie, he's great. And like he's funny, which is what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be the comedic relief. Like I get that. But in terms of watching it from the lens of like what Percy Jackson is supposed to be, I hate him. I also like the way they display the dyslexia and him being able to read Greek. This is just like, I would never go with a teacher if they did this. This is also fine.
Where is it?
Ew.
Whoa.
She's scary. That doesn't look too bad. Somehow I feel like the visual effects look... How did they get worse for the Sea of Monsters? Were they just lazy?
This is a pen.
I know that's a line a lot of people really like. I remember when the show was coming out, like, people were talking about things that they felt like were iconic from the movie, and this is a pen is one of them. Funny line. The crutches are really, really, really unserious.
Like I said, I'm your protector.
I can't... See, here's the thing. Like, this Grover is played so unserious. From the crutches to just being the constant sense of comic relief. So when he's being very serious right now, being like, I'm your protector, I can't take it seriously. See, so far, par for the course. I do like in the show that they go to Montauk. I think they develop the relationship between Percy and Sally infinitely better in the show.
Is it me or is it raining cows?
See, that's a choice.
You don't even need these, man.
No, he doesn't. What gets me, so like the crutches in the beginning, fine, whatever, I don't care. When he takes the crutches with them, like across the country, no one knows you personally. You can just limp or like walk normally. Like you don't need the crutches. I do like that. I'll give him that. I like their entrance to Camp Half-Blood. I'll give him that much for free. I do want the show to like reference his sword as Riptide. I do like on this version of Riptide, it like says Riptide in Greek. So like he knows the name of his sword. I want Percy in the TV show to reference it as Riptide. Or somebody.
Purse.
I need him to stop calling him Purse. I've actually decided I need that to stop.
Purse.
Purse counter. I think that's 4.
Yeah. The politically correct term is satyr.
Also, some of these jokes I feel like are very dated. That's funny, but I know they use the exact same joke in Sea of Monsters. It's like when they're talking about Tyson, they're like, the politically correct term is Cyclops. You made that joke already.
And your ADHD? Those are your natural battle reflexes, man.
Me? I have natural battle sure. That was very funny fight choreography. Dude, she has like scary eyes. They're like so fucking big and blue. Didn't they get engaged? Did I make that up? Logan, Lerman, Alexandra, Daddario. Engagement? Yeah, they reportedly got engaged in 2014, but they reportedly broke up in 2016. Interesting.
The mother's the goddess of love, so you know where that leads. Hey, baby!
I hate that line.
Your father built this.
Oh, that's another thing this movie messed up on. The claiming. Just, we don't have time. No time to claim him.
This whole place is mine?
Yeah, well, you are the only one, Percy. Can you guys imagine, do you ever wonder, like, what world we would live in if they got to do all 5 Percy Jackson movies? I think about that sometimes. Let's see, when did Sea of Monsters come out? 2013, so it took 3 years. So hypothetically, if we got all 5 Percy Jackson movies and they came out 3 years apart each time, like it took to get from Lightning Thief to Sea of Monsters, we would have gotten the last Percy Jackson movie in 2022. That's insane. We're gonna get Sea of Monsters, the TV show, faster than we got Sea of Monsters movie.
My mother put up with that creep to protect me?
I do like that they explain that, though. I don't think they explain that well in the show. They kind of fumbled the bag with Gabe, but it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, could they have done Gabe better in the show? Yeah, but like, how much do I really care? Not that much. He's only in the first book, and like, he's such a small part of the book. Like, there's more important things for me to worry about.
Stop lollygagging.
Ugh! Why is she staring at him like that? Oh my god, she is like intense right now.
I'm Luke,
There he is.
son of Hermes and camp leader. Not necessarily in that order.
Okay. Nobody asked. This really makes me think of how much I do love Charlie as Luke. Because, like, this guy just makes Luke really unlikable for me personally. Like, there's nothing about him that's redeemable or likable. But I think the show handles Luke a lot better. And Charlie portrays Luke in a much more complex way. Where, like, I feel bad for Luke in the TV show. And, like, I almost, like, I see where Luke's coming from in the TV show. How I see him in the book. Oh my god, I just remember they cut Clarice out of this entire movie. That's crazy. Guys, I'm tired. I did Dr. Pepper.
How did I just do that?
Oh my god, he fell. There's no way that fall was intentional. That was definitely Logan Lerman on accident. Oh my god. Never in a million years. What is he about to do? Wash his face with lake water? Even if it's clear. No way in hell. Oh my god, where did she come from? A tree? Hold on, spider monkey.
My mother is goddess of wisdom and battle strategy.
Saying that after taking your helmet off has always been very funny to me. They do look so related, like it's kind of scary.
Okay, Kyra, should we get in there and stop him? She's killing him, man.
She's killing him. She sliced him twice. Okay, 3 times, 4 times. Do you guys think that this is like an accurate depiction of Annabeth? Let me know. I'm trying to decide. I feel like once she's no longer playing the part of Clarice, she's like a decent Annabeth. But like that right there, just like beating the fuck out of him. I don't know. It doesn't give me Annabeth. But maybe that's just me. It's interesting looking at the movie and the show and comparing like what the movie took time to explain and unpack versus what the show took time to explain and unpack. Especially considering the show had a lot more time to unpack and explain things. Like they never really explain that Percy is like stronger when he's near the water, right? It's something that you can assume and use context clues to figure out when he's fighting Clarice because he's like closer to water and he gets better, right? But it's not something that's necessarily explained. But that was like a really good explanation for like water like helps Percy and like heals him. Just look at his lips. Crazy. How old are they supposed to be in this movie? 16? That's insane. Is there a light? Are there lights in their cups? What the fuck? This is supposed to be Hades, right? Question mark. Gotta get my big knife and my little knife.
What have you done with my mother?
Logan Lerman kind of has crazy eyebrows. Oh yeah, there's also no oracle in this. I just remembered that.
Going somewhere?
Oh my god. See, he doesn't need the crutches. He can walk normally. He just looks like he's walking really wide. Oh my god, I hate the crutches. They're the worst part.
One small victory and you're ready to fight Hades?
Ooh, double team.
Really?
See? That was a funny line. Ooh, double team. That was a good one. That made me chuckle.
Today, you tried to kill me. Now you want to defend me?
See, that's what happens when you just merge the characters of Annabeth and Clarice. It gets a little confusing.
Guess we all got daddy issues, huh?
Good one. Well, no, actually, we don't all have daddy issues because some of us have goddesses as mothers. I guess Annabeth still does have daddy issues, though, so I'll let that one slide.
This is a match for Persephone's pearls. Persephone? You mean Hades' wife? Yeah, he forced her to marry him. Keeps her prisoner.
This is taking too long already.
How did the pearls work? Easy.
This must be how people feel when they complain about the showing and not telling in the show. Whatever, I'll give it to you.
You see my dad on the highway to hell?
You guys ready for this? Highway to hell. Like I said, I'll give the movie its 10s where it deserves it. Soundtrack banger. Why does he have crutches? You guys, I can't even take it seriously.
Oh, check this out. He's just like my Uncle Ferdinand.
That's crazy.
Very funny.
It's not my Uncle Ferdinand, because my Uncle Ferdinand was killed by
There you go.
Medusa.
That's so crazy that it took him that long to put it together. Oh my god, it's Mihawk's mom.
Into this.
Guys, don't look. Oh my god, the masking over Annabeth's hand in that shot was ass. The iPod, so fucking funny. See, okay, at this point in the movie, once they leave camp, I view the movie as a movie and not as a Percy Jackson movie. Like, I feel like I separate it completely from Percy Jackson because it just doesn't feel like Percy Jackson to me. So when I separate it, I'm able to enjoy it as a movie. Like what Percy's about to do with the iPod, sick as fuck. Iconic within the context of a movie. Within context of Percy Jackson, doesn't really work, doesn't really make sense. Percy's not supposed to have electronics, right? So like when you separate it, so fun, so sick. You also kind of have to applaud any sort of visual media doing Medusa because making snakes for hair is so difficult. I don't think it's ever looked good.
I used to date your daddy.
Thanks. Come on, let's go.
She couldn't wiggle out of there when it was attached to the body. That's weird.
Young and handsome face.
I'll second that. Logan Lerman is pretty handsome. Wait, why did I... Did I just get Mandela affected? Hang on. I thought he held the iPhone, the iPod, and killed her behind his back like that. I don't know, he walked up behind her while she was holding the iPod. That's a lot less... It's a lot less fun. I just got Mandela affected. What the fuck? Because whenever someone talks about the scene, they use the photo of Percy holding the iPod. I thought he used it to slice her head off behind him. He just walked up behind her and cut her head off. He could have done that without the iPod. Like, it could have just been any... She could have just wanted to pick up any random mirror and look in it. You know what I mean? Whatever. I feel like that's a Mandela effect. I also just don't watch this movie often enough. Let's go to a motel. Let's put some 16-year-olds in a motel and see what happens. Oh my god, is she in capris? If he comes out of water and she's in capris, I'm gonna lose my mind. Oh my god. Oh no, she just rolled her jeans up. Okay, that's more acceptable. Rolling her jeans up and she's still getting her jeans wet. Critical things that I feel like this movie's missing. Number 1, Mr. D. Number 2, Annabeth Sat. Number 3, Percy getting claimed. Number 4, Clarice. Why would you... Okay, there's no world in which I would see somebody holding like a decapitated head and think that it was real. Like, I would think, oh, that's a fake head first. I've been to Nashville a couple times. And by a couple times, I mean, I think once. But I did go to the Parthenon. There's pictures of me and my sister right there holding the Parthenon up like this. Green was the grass where I used to read at Centennial Park. Come on, Taylor Swift. I can't with the goddamn crutches, you guys.
You're gonna kill the janitors.
Chill.
Those are working class Americans.
That's a funny line. That's a good one. They're all falling so hysterically. That one guy went, ah. I wonder why they chose to go to Nashville. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Like in context of Annabeth and daughter of Athena. I can see how they got there. I'm just curious behind the decision for it. Oh my god. Intense hug. Jesus Christ.
We've been expecting you, Mr. Jackson.
That's horrifying. I literally forgot that they fight the Hydra in Nashville. What an interesting choice. It should be a rule that if you can cut off all heads of the Hydra before any of them grow back, it should just be dead. All things considered, the Hydra doesn't look too bad, honestly. I'm very excited to see how they do the Hydra in season 2 of the show. And it's actually so embarrassing how much worse the graphics got in the second movie. Like, what happened? Actually, what happened? Did they know that Did they know that Sea of Monsters would be the last Percy Jackson movie. They had to because they combined, like they did the whole Kronos battle. No, the filmmakers did not know that Percy Jackson Sea of Monsters would be the last movie in the series. In 2014, Logan Lerman said that a sequel to Sea of Monsters would not be made. However, 6 days later, he said that the third film could still happen. In 2015, he said that he hadn't heard anything about a third film and was concerned that he and his co-stars were getting too old for their roles. The film series was intended to match the 5-book series, and the second film set up a third. However, no more films were produced. But why? I'm on Reddit of some talking about how they threw in plot elements from Titan's Curse and Battle of Labyrinth into the second movie. And someone was like, I hate how they did the whole, ooh, Thalia's alive. I might not be the only one the prophecy's about at the end of the second movie, when it's like, dude, you already defeated Kronos in like 10 seconds. I think you're good. That's so true. I never thought about that. Ew. If I was a regular human and this was happening, if I was a regular person and this was happening, I'd be like, the world's ending. I'm going to ask Chris to bring me a cup of pretzels and a Dr. Pepper. I'm hungry and I'm yawning. Not a good combo. LMAO. Woohoo! Lotus Casino. Again, with the crutches, I really can't do it.
That's really good.
I know y'all hear it in the background. Okay, why did he start? He's never done that before. I like how they're just high. They're just high on weed. That's what this is. Carry my, no, we can't read my poker face. The carrying the crutches is so insane. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Lotus Casino?
Yeah. Also, sorry if you can hear me chewing my pretzels. I'm going to try to chew very quietly because I know the mic will pick it up. I'll turn the mic down maybe. How about that? DJ Blast speakers up tonight. Fight till we see the sunlight. Tick tock on the clock, but the party don't stop. No, whoa, whoa, whoa. I bet so much of the budget of this movie went to the music. Another thing I like about the show is that it does do a lot to tie the events of the book back into Greek mythology. So like in the Lotus Casino, which by the way, the Lotus Casino episode of the show is my least favorite episode of the show. Right? I don't remember exactly where I ranked it in my ranking on my YouTube. I know it was bottom 2. Regardless of where it is, it's at the bottom. It's not my favorite episode. Love the scenes with Hermes. Hate the scenes with Grover in that episode, right? It's just boring. That being said, I do like how in the Lotus Casino episode, they do a good job at like making this all revert back to the Odyssey. So stuff like that, I really enjoy that the show does more to lean into the actual Greek mythology of it all. The Medusa episode, for example, they talk a lot longer about Medusa and her history with Athena and Poseidon, and I liked that a lot more. And to be fair, the show has time to do that. The movie doesn't necessarily have that time. I think if the movie had time to do that, though, they still wouldn't, but...
Tomorrow is the 21st. We were in there for 5 days.
When you're in the Lotus Casino, and you're in there for 5 days, but it's only 5 hours, do you smell bad? Or it's like, does hygiene just not apply to you in the Lotus Casino?
I can get us there in 4 hours. Maybe 3.
Me when I'm driving. I made a really funny post when I went to LA for the first time. I was at the Griffith Observatory. You could see the Hollywood sign from there. And I took a picture in front of it. I was like, guys, fake news. The entrance to the underworld is not in the Hollywood sign. Don't even attempt it. I thought that was funny. This is so kissing booth coded. That's a niche deep cut. I don't know if anybody gets that or not. Damn, it's not even in the Hollywood sign. It's in dirt underneath the Hollywood sign. I do understand the movie changing the entrance to the underworld, and also I'll give them the Parthenon just in terms of like iconography. I get it 100%. When you're making a movie and not a show and you already don't really care about book accuracy, like I totally get it in terms of iconography. It's just easier things to remember. Oh my gosh, we're about to see what's his face, the dude that plays Krusty. He plays Krusty in the TV show.
Who are you?
Ah!
Yo, my friend. What up?
Just not funny to me.
I got a few dead people you might recognize. Benjamin Franklin.
That's the fakest money I've ever seen. But I do think that was funny. I've got a couple of dead people you might recognize. That's a good one. See, some of the jokes are funny. Some of his jokes are funny. Some of them don't land for me. That's how it feels every time I step outside of my house. Anytime I leave my apartment, I just have to understand that I'm about to be spending money somewhere, some way, somehow.
Thanks for telling me, man. You burning money. We in a recession. Freezing. Shut up. Get on.
That's funny. That's a good one. That was actually kind of his fun. I think that was his funniest bit in the whole movie. So far, at least. How much time is left in the movie? It's going by. This one's really not that bad. Like, I know I talk about it plenty of times in my YouTube videos. I did a whole TikTok, like, segment. Chris just texted me that people are fighting, like, out in our parking lot. Anyways, what was I saying? Although I talk bad about this movie often on my YouTube, and, like, I did a whole thing on TikTok of, like, things the movie got wrong that the show will probably get right. All in all, not a bad movie. Persephone being here makes no sense, though. It's, like, not even accurate to Greek mythology. She should be with her mom right now because it's summertime. I like the gothic architecture, though, for Hades and where Hades lives. It's fun. I don't know why he looks like he should be an Aerosmith or something, though. Like, there's, like, guitars and amps behind him. What's that about?
You have your father's looks.
Just absolutely doesn't. I've seen his father. His father's a ginger.
Or say goodbye to your mother.
Whoa, that frame rate just was crazy. Did y'all see that? I don't know who did the music for this. Who did the music for the Percy Jackson movie? Christoph Beck. What else has he done? He's done Frozen 2. He did Ant-Man and the Wasp and Ant-Man. Oh, that's fun. He did Pitch Perfect and Crazy Stupid Love and A Cinderella Story. Kind of a goated filmography. Oh, but he also has movie 43, so that takes him down a lot of pegs. Movie 43 is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. See, like, at this point, this is just not a Percy Jackson movie. It's a movie, and we're having fun, but it's just so not Percy Jackson. It's crazy.
I'm staying because I'm the protector.
Fine, Percy. I'll sacrifice myself and stay with the beautiful, beautiful Persephone. You know what that reminds me of? That moment in Daredevil season 3 when Dexter is, like, talking to that girl, and all of a sudden he just goes... Oh, hell, forgot about this.
I'm the lightning thief.
That was so underwhelming. God damn. Oh my god, he is just so on a wire. That's so funny. Oh my god, he's flying at him like Peter Pan! See, this would mean a lot more if we knew anything about Luke and Annabeth's history. Just two dudes flying around. Hey, when I say Percy Jackson, if you don't picture two dudes flying around the Empire State Building in your head, you're crazy, right? That's what Percy Jackson means to me. Like, what's happening? Guys, what's going on? What the fuck am I watching? You know, here's the issue, actually. I've just realized what this movie's issue is, like, legit. They took the story of Percy Jackson and they tried to make a movie out of it like it's a Spider-Man movie. And I guess that's simply because it takes place in New York. Like, all of this feels like Spider-Man's final battle with the villain, right? Like, this is Spider-Man versus Green Goblin. But that's not what Percy Jackson is about. When they made this movie, I feel like they didn't look ahead to the main villain and how the 5th book ends. The 5th book was out by 2010, right? When was this published? Does it tell me inside the book? Published in May of 2009. So, by the time this movie came out, they knew how the book ended. But I guess maybe by the time they were writing the script, they didn't. But you knew that the big bad was Kronos. And they tried to make it like a Spider-Man movie when it's not. That's a sick shot, though. That's like the shot of the poster, I feel like. That's a good shot with the Empire State Building in the back. Oh, did I miss this whole, yeah, I guess I am Son of Poseidon bit? I must have missed that. Oh, no. Here it is.
I think I am the son of Poseidon.
Yeah. I think I am the Son of Poseidon. Very ballsy to give us all of the gods at once, though. And again, they are about to be huge, and I do like that. Oh my god, they're so little. Zeus picks up the lightning bolt like it's a toothpick. Annabeth. Oh my god, I just had a thought. I was like, they should let all the gods in the Percy Jackson TV show be British. That'd be good. And then I just thought of Lin-Manuel Miranda having to do a British accent. And I was like, maybe not. See, they just look nothing alike. You have your father's looks. Does he?
All right, Purse.
I gotta remember when I watch Sea of Monsters to see if he calls him Purse all the time. Ugh! They kiss in this movie? Wait, I forgot. Ugh! Okay. Okay, we're good. Aw, I'm so happy they didn't kiss. Wow, that makes Camp Half-Blood look really tiny. Teeny tiny. Yay! I do know there's a postie, so I'll We'll talk while the credits roll, and then we'll watch the posty. Well, all in all, not too bad, not too shabby. I'd give it 3 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd, right? It was fine. It was a good movie in terms of itself, but when you're like a diehard Percy Jackson fan, not a great movie, like for the fandom of Percy Jackson. But like when it comes to people having such an attachment to this movie and like so much nostalgia. So like I said, I don't know if I saw this movie in theaters. I literally can't remember. So the first time I ever really watched this movie was in 2021. I wasn't a big movie goer before I started dating my boyfriend. So I don't remember seeing this movie in theaters. So really the first time I watched it with like a solid memory bank was 2021. If you grew up like a really, really big Percy Jackson fan, and I read the Percy Jackson books when I was young, but it wasn't necessarily like my favorite fandom, which is fine. I'm not afraid to admit that. But so like if you grew up with Percy Jackson being your absolute number one favorite fandom in the world, and for 10 plus years, this was like the only movie you had, this and the Sea of Monsters movie, if that was like the only visual media you had of Percy Jackson, I understand the attachment to this film. I understand the nostalgia that you get from it, and I understand like being attached to it and wanting to defend it. I get that 100%. And I don't ever want to blame anybody for like having that attachment to this movie. Like I there's plenty of movies that I love that are not good movies, but they're movies from my childhood, so I just love them. But what I can't understand and what gets me is that if you're a really, really big Percy Jackson fan, and so you have these movies and then you also have the TV show, I can't wrap my mind around preferring the movies to the TV show still. Because even though the TV show is not perfect, TV show is absolutely not perfect. It's not 100% book accurate. They change things in the TV show as well. It's so much more accurate to what Percy Jackson is as a whole than what this movie is, and especially the second movie. God help me when I have to watch that. So like I understand having an attachment to this movie and having nostalgia wrapped around this movie, but like I can't. There's so many people on TikTok that I see all the time like preferring the movie to the TV show, and I'm just like, I think if you prefer the movie to the TV show, you prefer the world that the movie has created and not the actual world of Percy Jackson. Because like, I don't know, I just feel like the world in the Percy Jackson TV show is so much more accurate to what the book is. And also, I feel like if you prefer the movie over the TV show, you might just prefer the fact that Logan Lerman is cute, and you're allowed to call him cute because he's 18 when he filmed this. Even though he's playing a 16-year-old Percy, like you're allowed to call Logan Lerman cute because he's a legal adult. I feel like a lot of people, girls specifically, have, not a lot, not a major percentage of the fandom, but the ones that are like diehard Logan Lerman as Percy fans and like diehard movie fans. I feel like a lot of girls are attached to Percy Jackson as a character in the way that like I'm kind of attached to Bucky Barnes, where it's like you love the character, but then also like you will daydream that you are dating this character sometimes just for shits and giggles. And in order to do that, like you have to be picturing an aged up Percy in your head, right? And that's what Logan Lerman is to a lot of people. So they will die on the hill that Logan Lerman is better Percy Jackson, because you cannot look at Walker Scobell and imagine him as Percy Jackson and still in your head pretend that you are dating Percy Jackson, because that's a case. You're gonna catch a case if you do that, right? Like I saw TikTok the other day. Oh my God, she was reading Percy Jackson and she was like, me when I'm rereading Percy Jackson and I am picturing Walker Scobell in my head instead of the 17-year-old Percy Jackson that I'm dating or whatever. And I was like, first of all, in the original 5 books, Percy doesn't even reach 17. I'm pretty sure he's 16 in The Last Olympian. Second of all, read fan fiction if that's what you want. If you want fan fiction of like dating Percy Jackson or self-inserting yourself as Annabeth, like find fan fiction and do that. Because for me, when I read Sea of Monsters, all I was doing was picturing the cast, and it made the book a bajillion times better. Like a bajillion times more enjoyable to be able to picture Walker and Leah and Arian. And then of course all the comments on the TikTok were like, at least I can still picture blonde Annabeth. So really I think that's what I feel like. I feel like people either are still obsessed with this movie because of nostalgia, which I don't really have. Because like I said, the first real memory I have of watching this movie was in 2021, and I was like, oh my God, this movie is bad. Or they're obsessed with Logan Lerman as Percy because they are like in love with Percy Jackson. And I'm not judging that, by the way. Like I just said, I'll daydream about Bucky Barnes. I'm not shy about it. It happens. It happens to the best of us. But Bucky Barnes is also like 107, so I don't really have to worry about that. Percy Jackson as a character is 12. He is 12. Like, even in the new books that Rick is releasing right now, in the new little trilogy he has going on, Percy's just applying for college. I don't know. That's just my thoughts. That's my thoughts. And then I also think people that don't like the casting for Annabeth in the TV show don't like it because they can't self-insert themselves into Annabeth anymore because she's not white and blonde. Back to the movie, though. Fine enough. I was yawning during it, though. I had to get some Dr. Pepper to really keep me alive. So, heaven forbid, when we have to watch Sea of Monsters. Jesus Christ, that's going to be a rough one for me personally. But yeah, you know, it's a fine movie. If you like it, I'm happy for you. Like I just said, I mean, it's a decent enough movie. It's not like one that I'm ever going to sit down and be like, I'm going to put on the Percy Jackson movie. I don't ever have that desire on a personal level. But if you're somebody who really, really loves the movie, very happy for you. I'm curious to see if people defend the movies as hardcore during season 2 as they did for season 1, because we're going to be comparing to the Sea of Monsters movie, which is so much worse. Like, The Lightning Thief has things that you can defend as a movie. Like, people can make a case for this movie and it works. Making a case for the Sea of Monsters movie, I'd like to see someone try. I'd love to see someone try. It's just bad all around. Okay, here we go. That does it for my highlight video for my commentary track of Percy Jackson and The Lightning Thief. If you want to watch the whole movie with me, make sure you go check out my Patreon. The link is in the description down below. Like I mentioned earlier, I have both commentary tracks and reaction videos, so you definitely don't want to miss out on any of that. But that pretty much does it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.